off the rip, Purdue stunned number 3 Michigan State 40-29 in West Lafayette. Heisman candidate and Spartan tailback Kenneth Walker III did his part, though. 23 rushes for 146 yards and a TD. He did have an uncharacteristic fumble, though, and MSU QB Peyton Thorne wasn't bad. He completed 20 of 30 for 276 with 2 TDs and a pick, though there were some untimely drops by his receivers. But it wasn't so much that MSU was bad as much as it was that the Boilermakers were good. They picked up 11 of 18 third downs and held the Spartans to 6 of 13. Aiden O'Connell and David Bell went off in the monster win in West Lafayette. O'Connell completed 40 of 54 attempts for 536 passing yards with 3 TDs. Bell caught 11 of those passes for 217 yards. This was Purdue's second victory against a top 5 opponent this season alone after knocking off number 2 Iowa earlier this year. It's the first time the Boilermakers have beaten 2 top 5 teams in the Associated Press rankings in the same season in 61 years. And then there's this. The Purdue program has 17 all-time wins against the AP top 5 opponents against AP top 5 opponents, That's the most in the country. And since 1971, there have been just 4 teams that have been unranked to beat teams that were ranked inside the top 5 twice in the same season. One of those is 1978 Missouri. One of those is 1983 Penn State. One of those is Illinois in 2007. And the other, yes, the 2021 Boilermakers. As producer Kat pointed out earlier this afternoon, Purdue is outstanding at ruining your dream season. But what I ask is Purdue as good as Michigan? All right, we got to talk about this. This is a theme throughout the show. You'll know I believe that winning needs to matter. So number 7, Michigan, looks even more silly when its losses to a number 3 Michigan State who just lost to unranked Purdue 40-29. This is an indictment of not so much Michigan, who was overranked, but of the CFP committee and just what those 13 folks think good football looks like. I tell you, man, people tell me all the time, hey, RJ, stop trolling us with your rankings. I'm not. I'm saying to you, winning matters. Don't tell me about no quality losses. There's no such thing unless you are a loser. And I like to think you're here now watching the show. You are not a loser. I'm not a loser. I came to win. Ranking Michigan number 7 after losing to Michigan State with an undefeated Oklahoma right there is a problem. It's a problem associated with bias. You have your 6 teams that you want to see get an opportunity to play in your little Power 5 invitational, but you are taking into account things that don't matter, like branding, like these teams living off their blue blood laurels of what older dudes did and what they can accomplish. I'm telling you, to look at a number 8 Oklahoma who is 9-0 is insulting. To look at a number 6 Cincinnati who is 9-0 is insulting when you see a 1-loss Oregon, a 1-loss Ohio State, now a 1-loss Michigan State, and a 1-loss Alabama all ranked ahead. Based on what? Your blind eye? I'm telling you, man, you can look at box scores and do a better job than what you're doing right now. Now, after all that, the Spartans still control their own destiny in getting to the Big Ten championship game. And I want to know from Mel Tucker what exactly that's going to take. So I asked him. I'm joined by Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I am really fiending to watch your running back, Kenneth Walker III, get after it again. The man nickname K9. But Coach, I want to jump back to January 2021. When this dude came through the door, did you know that this was the guy you're going to stick 7.5 yards deep and then say, hey, look, you're going to carry the load for us, and then we're going to be 8-0 by the month of November?
I tell you what, I knew that he was a very good player. When he walked in the door, he was one of our most explosive athletes. He proved himself in the weight room. Everyone took notice. We knew that we were getting a very special player.
And in getting those sorts of players to come through the door, Coach, how has it been to just try to impart your culture on that team that was 2-5 a year ago, and this is only year 2 for you? It seems to be very quick to us, but I wonder if it feels that quick to you.
Well, it was part of our process. From day one, we began to shift our culture to a culture of accountability, sense of urgency, attention to detail, unselfishness, and our guys have really bought into that. The guys that we brought in through the portal, and then the freshmen that we signed when they got here in January or in May, June, they quickly realized that we have a culture established here. There's a certain way that we're going to do things, and it's what they actually signed up for. And so it hasn't taken long for everyone to buy into what we're doing, and we're seeing the results right now on the field.
You've been coaching for the better part of 25 years, and you've had stops in the NFL. You've had stops at major college football programs other than Michigan State. I wonder what you tell your kids about the difference between what they're doing today and what they would like to do tomorrow, say in the NFL.
Well, we prepare our players for life after Michigan State. Whether it's the National Football League or it's in whatever other career that they aspire to pursue. And so, everything we do in terms of our culture, it really is going to help them be successful in life, beyond Michigan State. We have a program here, offensively, defensively, and on special teams that translates well to the National Football League. Our players know that, and so everything that they're doing here is going to help them beyond Michigan State.
One of the things that strikes me also about your career in particular, Coach, is that everywhere you go, you win. Does winning just travel, or is that a part of how you came up? What is it about you specifically that you think has helped you everywhere you go, whether it be working at Georgia, working at Ohio State, working at Alabama, working for Cleveland Browns, working at Chicago Bears, or being the head coach at Michigan State?
Well, I've been very blessed and fortunate. I've been around a lot of great people in the game of football, and I've learned something from every single person that I've worked with, and that's including players. And in order to be successful, there's certain things that you have to do. It takes what it takes. There's not a whole lot of choices. And when you have a process that works, it's just a matter of sticking to it and hammering that process each and every day. And I've been in some outstanding situations where we've been able to win. We've been able to win championships, and all of those things that I've learned, all the experiences that I've had over the years, are really helping us do what we need to do here at Michigan State.
One of the more, I thought, inspiring choices that you made when you got to Michigan State was to go get a dude I really love in Scotty Hazelton, defensive coordinator for you. I got to see him up close when he was at Kansas State, and they were able to win against my team, the Oklahoma Sooners. But I wonder, what is it about him in particular that helped fortify your defense and really playing the kind of ball that I think of you? I think of your defense as being synonymous with great football.
Well, Scotty's he's a first-class human being. He's a family guy, and he really cares about young people. He cares about our young men, not just as football players, but as people. And that's a prerequisite for being on our coaching staff. And so Scotty has a passion for the game of football. He believes in high energy, technique, and fundamentals. He wants the players to play smart. He wants them to play fast. He wants them to be physical, and he's going to do what our players can do best and put them in position to be successful. And it's day after day after day after day. He's a great leader. He's a great teammate, and we're very fortunate to have him here.
He's one of those guys after my own heart. One of my favorite quotes he gave is, "As a defensive guy, I watch somebody score 40, and I think we should call the game because I'm not here for that. I'm not here to see somebody score more than 40 in a game. Let's call it good after that." I appreciate that, Coach. I am really interested to see where you all can end up by the end of this year. I'm sure you are too, but you said it takes what it takes. What is it going to take for you all to be where you want to be in the Big Ten championship, having won the conference and have an opportunity to play for a national championship this year?
Yeah, well, we have to play complementary football. That means offense, defense, and special teams, all working together to get the job done. And we're going to have to do that consistently for 60 minutes. And it's every day. It's the preparation, but on the field, off the field, our rest, our recovery, everything we do, we have to do it at an elite level. And that's what gives you the chance to win a game. And we all know that in order to get to where you need to go, you need to win football games. And we have to take them one game at a time. And so each and every day, it's about the aggregation of marginal gains. Everyone in our organization, whether it's the coaches, the support staff, the players, the trainers, equipment, strength and conditioning, nutrition, everyone's got to get a little bit better every single day. If we can get a little bit better every single day in aggregate, that's how we make the most improvements, and that's how we get to where we want to get to more quickly. And so it's really be where your feet are, one step at a time. And the most important thing we do is what's next. That's the most important. What is next? What do we have to do now? What is important now? And then what do we have to do next? And so if we can stay grounded, we can stay focused, we can go into these games and play complementary football, then that gives us the best chance to get what we want.
Michigan State head coach Mel Tucker, his team is getting better every day in aggregate. And Coach, I appreciate you so much for your time here, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. Go Green.
Thank you, Coach Tucker, for taking time to speak with me here on the Number One Ranked Show. And while today hurts for Spartans and their fans, I need to repeat that MSU can still get to the Big Ten title game. But to do that, they not only need to beat Maryland next week, but they got to beat Ohio State on November 20th. Thanks for watching this video, and remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the Number One Ranked Show YouTube channel.